You're going to die, not someday, not eventually, but sooner than you think. That thought makes you uncomfortable. You feel it in your chest, a tightness, a resistance. You want to scroll past it. You want to click away. But this discomfort is the point. Everything you are chasing right now, the money, the status, the perfect life, it is all built on a lie. The lie that you have time, endless time. Time to fix things later. Time to say what you mean. Time to live when the conditions are right. You do not have time. There is an ancient practice that the Romans used to keep themselves honest. It was whispered in the ears of generals as they marched to victory. It was carved into the rings of emperors. It was a secret that made them fearless. Most people run from this truth. They bury it under distractions and noise. But the ones who embraced it, they lived more in 1 year than most do in 80. This is not about death. It is about life. And the key to unlocking it has been hiding in plain sight. Look at your day. Really look at it. You wake up and reach for the phone. The light floods your eyes. You scroll. You consume. You absorb other people's lives while your own waits in the corner. You go to work. You sit in meetings that could have been emails. You nod at things you do not believe in. You smile at people you do not respect. You come home. You are tired. Not from living, but from pretending. You tell yourself you will start tomorrow. You will exercise tomorrow. You will call your parents tomorrow. You will write that book tomorrow. But tomorrow is a thief. It steals today. You are walking through your life with your eyes closed. You are waiting for the weekend, waiting for vacation, waiting for retirement, waiting to feel alive. And in the waiting, the days pile up. They become weeks, then months, then years. You look in the mirror one day and wonder where it went. The face staring back is older. The eyes are tired. The dreams are quieter. This is not an accident. This is design. The modern world profits from your distraction. A present mind does not buy things it does not need. A present mind does not chase validation. A present mind is dangerous to the systems that feed on your anxiety. So you stay asleep. You stay busy. You stay safe. But there is another way. A way that the ancients knew. A way that turns fear into fuel. Picture Rome. The year is 180 AD. The air is thick with incense and smoke. The marble floors are cold underfoot. Outside, the city roars with life. Chariots rumble. Merchants shout. The empire stretches across the known world. Inside the palace, a man sits alone. He is old now. His body aches. The plague has taken millions. His enemies circle like vultures. He knows he will not see another winter. This is Marcus Aurelius, the last of the good emperors. He does not spend his final days in luxury. He does not flee from the truth. He writes. By candlelight, with a shaking hand, he writes words that would survive 2,000 years. He writes about death, not with fear, but with gratitude. He kept a skull on his desk, not to be morbid, but to remember. Memento Mori. Remember you must die. This was not a curse. It was a gift. When a general returned from victory, a slave would whisper this phrase in his ear. At the height of triumph, at the peak of power, he was reminded that he was mortal. It kept him humble. It kept him focused. It kept him alive to the moment. The Stoics understood something we have forgotten. Death is not the enemy of life. It is the engine of it. Without the end, there is no urgency. Without the limit, there is no value. Without the darkness, the light means nothing. Marcus wrote that you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. He was not being dark. He was being free. There are 3 shifts, 3 ways to use this truth without being crushed by it. The first shift is to see death as a teacher, not a threat. When you truly accept that your time is limited, something changes. The petty arguments lose their weight. The grudges feel heavy and useless. The fear of embarrassment fades. What would you do if you knew this was your last year, your last month, your last week? You would not waste it on things that do not matter. You would not stay in the job that kills your spirit. You would not hold on to the anger that poisons your blood. You would call the people you love. You would say the things you mean. You would live like the house is burning. Because it is. But there is a darker side to this wisdom that most people miss. Knowing this is not the same as feeling it. You can read the words, you can nod along, but when you put the phone down, the old patterns return. The comfort pulls you back. The distraction calls your name. This is because you are still treating life like a rehearsal. You think there will be another chance, another season, another shot. This leads to the second shift, the practice of negative visualization. Every morning, imagine you will not see the evening. Imagine the people you love will not be here tonight. Imagine this day is all you get. This is not depression. This is clarity. When you imagine losing something, you see its value. The coffee tastes different. The sun feels warmer. The voice of your partner sounds sweeter. The Stoics did this daily. They would look at their children and remember they could be gone by sunset. They would walk through their homes and know it could all burn. This made them present. It made them grateful. It made them fierce. You do not appreciate what you have until you face losing it. So face it every day. Let the fear of loss wake you up. Let it sharpen your senses. Let it make this moment matter. Yet even this feels heavy, because there is a deeper resistance. A fear that if you accept death, you will lose your drive. This brings us to the third shift. Death gives life its shape. Think of a song. It is beautiful because it ends. If it went on forever, it would be noise. Think of a story. It has meaning because there is a final page. Without it, there is no plot, no tension, no resolution. Your life is the same. The limit is what makes it precious. The clock is what makes the moment valuable. Marcus understood this. He did not waste his final years in regret. He led armies. He wrote philosophy. He loved his family. He did what was in front of him. He did not wait for perfect conditions. He did not wait for fear to fade. He acted. When you accept the end, you stop postponing. You stop waiting. You stop asking for permission. You realize that the only time you own is now. The past is gone. The future is not promised. This breath, this step, this choice, this is where life happens. But if this is so clear, why do you still hesitate? Why do you still scroll when you could create? Why do you still stay silent when you could speak? Why do you still wait when you could begin? Because your ego is afraid of ending. Your ego wants to be remembered. It wants to build something that lasts forever. It wants to be safe, but nothing lasts forever. Everything ends. The empire falls. The name is forgotten. The stone crumbles. Your ego fights this truth. It tells you to play it safe, to wait for the right moment, to protect yourself. But safety is an illusion. You are not protected by hiding. You are only hidden from life. The world will tell you to think long-term, to plan, to secure your future. There is wisdom in that, but not at the cost of today. You can plan and still be present. You can build and still live. You can prepare and still breathe. Do not let the future steal the now. Remember the beginning? I told you that you are going to die. Here is the truth I promised you. This is not a warning. It is an invitation. Death is not waiting to take your life. It is waiting to give it back to you. Every moment you remember you must die, you are freed from the small fears. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of looking foolish. None of it matters when you see the end. Unstoppable living is not about ignoring death. It is about letting it lead you. When you stand at the edge of your days, will you wish you had scrolled more, worked more, worried more? Or will you wish you had loved more, created more, lived more? The choice is not later, It is now. So ask yourself this. If today was all you had, would you spend it the way you are spending it right now? The answer is already in your hands.